Hello, Kashish. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. How about you?
I'm also doing great. Thank you for giving me time for this particular thing which I'm doing. Okay, so I will be asking you actually a few questions regarding your co-op journey. Okay,
All right.
to help the other students who are actually applying for the co-op.
Mm-hmm.
There are
Yep.
basically 7 questions I will ask you. So those are easy questions. I'll
Mm-hmm.
go ahead with the first question, which is introduce yourself. You can start with that.
Feels like I'm again giving interview.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. My name is Kashish Patel and I'm from Mumbai, which is like a financial capital of India. And currently I'm pursuing masters in project management. Actually, my second masters. I've done my first masters in management. So this is my second masters. And currently I am working as a project manager at Alexion AstraZeneca, which is one of the leading pharmaceutical company. And apart from all this, I also serve as a global student mentor at Office of Global Services, which is the most prominent office at Northeastern. And I'm also director of marketing at NUPM, which is Northeastern University's project management club.
Okay, that's great. May I know your intake? Like when did you come in Northeastern University? Which
I
intake?
came last year, January 2023, so which is
Okay.
winter 2023
In
intake.
that department. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Okay, so already you have answered my second question as well, like which company you are working in. May I
Hmm.
know the role which you are working in that company for the co?
Yes. So as mentioned, working as a project manager, and currently I'm handling generative AI projects and also supporting international meeting with like 10 plus countries, China, Japan. So that's a great experience that I'm getting.
Yeah.
And apart from that, I'm also involved in few areas of portfolio analytics and being a co-op. It's good that you get taste of
Yeah.
everything. If your team is having multiple, I would say, options to learn from. So
Yeah.
that's the current role going on. Yeah.
Okay, great, great. That's great. Okay. So coming to my third question, which is when did you start applying for this co-op? Can you tell me the timelines?
Okay. So I started applying in October.
Okay.
Just a second. Can you hear background noise?
No, no, no. I cannot hear.
Okay, there was alarm going on.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for that.
That's good.
Okay. Do you want to repeat the question?
Uh, yeah, I will ask the question again
Yeah.
maybe.
Hmm.
So my question is like, when did you start applying for the co-op?
Right. So as I mentioned, I came in January 2023, and being a College of Professional Studies student in
Hmm.
project management, you are eligible for co-op after 3 quarters. So
Yeah.
for me, I was eligible from January 2024, which is now. So ideally you should start like 6 months ago.
Hmm.
However, in my case, I was more involved in part-time and on-campus job. So I started a bit late. I started in October 2023,
Okay.
and by November I started seeing some progress. Yeah. Do you
Okay.
want me to talk more about that?
Yeah, you can go ahead with talking more like how many application you
Yes.
did, how much got
Yes.
converted to interview
Yeah.
call.
Right. So I did around, I would say, 30 applications.
Okay.
And that might be surprising because you must be hearing people saying 300, 500,000.
Yeah,
So it's different journey for everyone. And
true,
yeah,
true.
that's true. But
Hmm.
for me, it was quality over quantity.
Hmm.
So I applied around 30, 40, not more than that.
Okay.
And I started early, but it was like in August, I applied 2 jobs, and then I didn't apply for next 15 days. But by October, I could feel the seriousness of applications, because by January, if I have to start,
Hmm.
by November end, I should have something in hand, because you need to inform university 1 month before so
Yeah.
that they do all the I-9 process.
Hmm.
And I got this wake up call in October, like,
Hmm.
you need to apply. It's just 2 months in your hand. So I regressively started applying day and night, like, but again, not like too much. But I
Hmm.
was making sure I'm applying for the job roles that I'm looking forward to. So yes, October 1 month I applied, and by November I was having few offers in hand.
Okay, that's
And talking about application, as I mentioned, around
hmm.
30, 50. And from this, I was able to get 4 interviews, like 4 offers, I would say. I got 5 interviews. The
Okay.
first interview didn't go through well. I mean, I gave it the best and I was hoping that it will come back,
Hmm.
but I didn't get that. But rest remaining 4 offer, like 4 interviews, I got offer from them.
Okay. So for the 5 calls, you have converted 4. That's
Yes.
a great ratio.
Yeah.
Actually. So it's really amazing.
Hmm.
Okay. So coming to my next question is like, which platforms do you use for the co-op
Right.
application?
So I was focused on NU Works
Okay.
firstly because we have a college portal, so why not apply through that?
Yeah.
And there are companies who are directly hiring from Northeastern. They have good relationship over the years, so they
Hmm.
prefer Northeastern students due to their
Okay.
ongoing partnership from years and years. So that was something that I utilized to the fullest.
Okay.
And other option was LinkedIn,
LinkedIn.
which was like, I would say I was 100% active on NU Works.
Hmm.
I was 80% active on LinkedIn
Okay.
and 30% on Upwork or all those, not so, I
Uh,
would say popular ones,
other
but
ones.
they are there Indeed and those things. Yeah.
So which one helped you in converting the jobs? Like calls you got from LinkedIn or is it any works?
Yeah. So for me, NU Works did work.
Okay.
I know there are people for whom it hasn't or who have different, I would say, perspective on this.
Hmm.
But for me, it did work. I did receive, like, I did applications even there, like 10,
Hmm.
15. But there was a response. I would say, even if it's a rejection, there was a response.
Okay.
And so if I say from 5, I got 1 from LinkedIn and rest 4 were from any works.
Okay. So were you using LinkedIn Premium at that point of time?
Not really.
Okay. So that is one more question. So okay,
Yes.
so coming to the next question is like, how did you secure this co-op position? Like, can you tell me in details?
Right. So first of all, I would say in my case, activeness worked. Like when I started applying in October, I was completely devoted to it. So
Hmm.
that, devotion was helpful. And also, I have always been working on my profile. So even if you'd see, the reason I didn't take LinkedIn Premium because I've been working as a digital marketer for past 3 years, and I
Yeah.
know how you need to build your profile on LinkedIn. I know all the tactics like profile optimization and how to post, when to post. So I know that you don't really have to go premium in order to secure a job. Of course, it
Yeah.
is helpful because premium has certain features like email and other
Yes.
few premium, I would say, benefits.
Hmm.
But in my case, I didn't feel the extreme need because for job applications, you can apply, right? But
True.
in
True.
order to, look who's viewing your website, like profile, you need premium. I didn't feel the need. Like I felt, let me just try it out 1 month. If I need, I'll take it. And so my profile was optimized. I
Hmm.
focused on profile, not just on digitally, but even in my skill section and being active at university.
Hmm.
Secondly, resume. I made sure that I am connecting with my mentors who are seniors or who have been here for 10, 15 years, who are in industry, and getting my resume reviewed through them. And thirdly, I would say there are certain attitudes that you need to maintain, like
Okay.
can do attitude or proactiveness. So that worked. I'll give you
Hmm.
a nice story about how to approach his work. So the first offer that I got was from
Hmm.
MIT,
MIT.
and it was for, yeah, digital project manager role. It was
Okay.
more of marketing role,
Hmm.
and it was like I gave interview.
Hmm.
Then there was a submission
Hmm.
for which I worked day and night a whole week. I
Hmm.
made sure that the best work goes out there. And
Yeah.
then again, I had interview with the manager, actual manager. And
Okay.
then I got an offer, like you are selected and we like your they really appreciated my work, that your work is beyond, above and beyond our expectations. So I was
Hmm.
so happy for that. And then secondly, this was one interview experience, right?
Okay.
The
Hmm.
second interview that I gave for Alexa AstraZeneca, it
Hmm.
was like I applied, and
Hmm.
then after 2, 3 days, I got a mail from directly manager
Hmm.
asking me for certain details. So basically, she shared a I would say table. It was like an Excel table where
Okay.
she had certain columns and rows like your experience with business analysis, experience with market research,
Hmm.
analytics, which projects have you done, what was your role, very detailed Excel
Everyone.
sheet.
Hmm.
And I immediately responded to it with
Hmm.
my whole experience
Hmm. Hmm.
and mentioning it all clearly, properly. And if I had any question, I responded. And then next day, she had CC'd her hiring manager in the mail, and she said like, Kashish, you need to connect with the hiring manager and get the details about the job, basically the timings, pay, and everything. So I
Okay.
reached out to the hiring manager, and so here was the thing. She asked me the, I would say the actual manager of mine
Hmm.
on Tuesday, like you need to get in touch with hiring manager in
Hmm.
next 2 days because we will be connecting on Thursday.
Thursday.
So I
Okay.
just had Tuesday and Wednesday.
2 days.
So I
Hmm.
just reached out to this hiring manager. He didn't
Hmm.
reply to me.
Okay.
So again, I reached out to him next day. He didn't
Hmm.
reply to me.
Oh.
Then on Wednesday, EUD, I again reached out to him.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I very politely, like I have a
Hmm.
actual, interview with managers and we need to
Yeah.
discuss few things. And he immediately responded and he called me up, he explained me everything, and he told
Directly
me
called you.
thank yeah, so he
Oh.
actually thanked me because these people are busy. It's not like they don't want to
Hmm.
respond
Hmm.
to your text, but they were
True.
busy and they really liked
Hmm.
my proactiveness, that
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was aware the importance of this
Hmm.
call.
Hmm.
And then next day I had call with my manager and it was very smooth. She was asking me my opinions, the values,
Hmm.
and rather than I would say on technical side, it was more about a conversational based approach.
Okay.
And that's it. And
Oh.
after a week, the Thanksgiving was going on. So
Hmm.
there was I asked them that I'm looking forward to any response.
Hmm.
And then I got a positive response. And I went ahead with Alexia AstraZeneca because the job seems to be challenging to me. Because marketing I've done, like the
Yeah.
role that MIT was offering me. But Alexions was totally into project management role. And
Different
I
role.
wanted to work on my management side because I've been already working with marketing.
True. True. True.
So
Hmm.
I know how it is done.
Hmm.
And the reason I did masters in project management because I wanted to get into that side,
Okay.
right?
True.
So that was the whole process. Apart from these two, there was also sports marketing, sports management brand,
Hmm.
and it was also one interview call, and she understood that I know the work,
Hmm.
and she was just having conversation like, "Can you join me?" And it
Now
was a startup base, so the pay scale and everything was base. So that
basic.
was another job.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So the whole timeline took like how many days, starting from the interview to the end process when you are getting the offer?
I would say average 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh,
Yes.
that's good. Like
Yeah.
it's quick only. Like,
Yeah, because if the employer is active, they are looking for, shortlisting, they can finish up the process in 2 to 4 weeks. If they have more candidate, it might take a longer. But in my case, I was fortunate enough to have quick, things going on. Yeah.
true, true, true. So you are saying that the interview rounds were like 2 rounds and some written work you are given, right?
For MIT, to explain in summary, for MIT, it
Hmm.
was 2 rounds of interview and one assignment. For
Okay.
Alexion, it was one round of interview that was main because hiring manager interview was anyway was going to be there, and one
Okay.
email that I sent her earlier, it was just email based.
Okay.
She wanted to see my qualification
Okay.
to
Hmm.
me, on email.
Hmm.
So that
Hmm.
was it. So I would say in Alexion it was just, I considered just one interview. Yeah.
Okay.
And that too, not really long. It was just half an hour call where we discussed about if the mode of work that I prefer, and
Hmm.
why do I want to join the company, and all other sort of things that I do at university. So it was a fun conversation.
Oh, that's great, great. So, like, this is my last question to you. Like,
Mm,
as per the current market situation, you are aware that the market is not that much good now. So
mm,
people are struggling getting the co-op. So
mm.
what would you suggest to people who are struggling getting the co-op, and what suggestions you have for them? In
Right.
brief, you can tell
Yeah.
us.
First of all, even I've been hearing the same thing that you are saying, like market is not good. I
Hmm.
feel one should not let the market decide, I mean, I understand the market is not good, but don't let it affect your
Hmm.
efforts. Okay, it's not good, it's not, just assume okay it's not good, let you have to put your 100% no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And in fact, to give suggestion or tips, I would say I will talk about 4 points mainly. So
Okay.
first is profile building. It's extremely important. If you are coming to university, you are,
Mhm.
paying such a huge tuition amount. Make sure that you are utilizing every aspect of the university. Get involved in student clubs, get a mentor, and also be active at your academic projects. Be
Hmm.
the leader. Try to, be active as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
And even apart from this, your professional journey, do not forget about the things that you like personally.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is you need to do your hobbies as well, because you
Yeah.
need to be sane here. Your health, your mental health is
Hmm.
priority. So you need to make this whole thing enjoyable. At the same time, you need to know the seriousness. So I would say profile building and also enjoying the master's program at the
Okay.
same time being active. That's one thing.
Hmm.
And by profile building, I mean also adding certifications needed to be employable.
Hmm.
And it's not just that I'm a project manager, so I should just know project management.
Hmm.
I can gain information about generative AI because it's in
Hmm.
trained. I can gain information about business analytics apart from what university is teaching.
Hmm. Hmm.
What
Hmm.
something I can get from my side, writing articles, research paper. This
Hmm.
whole things create your value,
Profile.
right? Building a portfolio website or
Hmm.
starting your YouTube channel, podcast channel. It's not always has to be professional, but something that showcases your value.
Hmm.
Secondly, I will talk about a resume.
Hmm.
So this is how stepwise I'm telling you. This resume, you need to make sure that your resume is good
Hmm.
enough for the application. You can't just, add anything like keywords, and you need to make sure of that. And
Hmm.
to make a nice resume, we oftentimes feel lost, like, maybe my resume is not working. And resume is the main thing, like
Hmm.
that is the first thing that gets shortlisted. So
Yeah.
I would suggest connecting with your seniors
Hmm.
and mentors and professors, getting it reviewed through them is a good option, is the best option. For
Yeah.
me, I had a friend who's like 10 years elder than me,
Okay.
and he asked me to write down all my projects. He sat with me for an hour on Zoom call, just like
Hmm.
this, and
Hmm.
he told me, "Okay, Kashish, you should mention this project
Oh.
rather than this one." So you need to also prioritize which projects you are showcasing. So in this
Hmm.
case, the mentorship comes into picture.
Hmm.
People who has experience, they know which projects the employer or
I
maybe the
get you.
hiring manager or recruiter wants to see. So
True.
it's very essential that you get it reviewed, and also
Hmm.
get it reviewed through as much as people possible.
Hmm.
But also don't get confused. Like I always say even to my mentees,
Hmm.
that understand each perspective and find which one sounds
Res-
resonates most with you, and come up with your own perspective.
Take
So
inputs from.
for me I created 4 resumes. There was one master resume
Hmm.
where I had all my bio data, all
Hmm.
information. Then I
Okay.
created one resume for project manager role, one resume for product marketing role,
Okay.
one
Okay.
resume for business analyst role,
Okay.
one resume for product management role.
Product
So
man.
these were my 4 variations, and
Yes.
this all
Yes.
of this had very specific project dedicated to it, and also modified experience, right? So that's something that I would also suggest
Hmm.
everyone to do. And then coming up to applications part,
Hmm.
as I've mentioned previously, that quality or quantity worked for me. So I'm telling from my experience, for
Hmm.
some, they do 500 and then they get some results.
True.
But
Hmm.
as per my experience, I feel you should also focus on quality.
Quality.
If you apply 15 jobs in a day, just like, okay, project manager role,
Hmm.
it's mentioned here, and just keep on applying.
Hmm.
And you're not reading the description if it is matching with your profile or not. Is it a job that you would like to do? It's
Hmm.
also very important. And one thing that I just remembered,
Hmm.
that do not always go with the job title while application. Also read the job description.
True.
So
True.
the role that I'm doing currently at Alexion,
Hmm.
it was mentioned as global commercial excellence.
Okay.
That
Oh.
was the role. People must have, my assumption is they must have ignored it, saying global commercial pata nahi kya, it's,
Yeah.
we don't know what it is.
Yes. Yes. True.
And but when I read the job description, I was like, I can do this job. Like it seems combination of business analysis and project management, and also it's a global marketing team. And I applied for the role. So one should read the whole description, because at times recruiters put the team name or they can put something else. So you need to understand the job description and accordingly apply. And
This is
then
valuable.
comes,
Yeah, this point is
let's,
really valuable.
yeah. And let's come to next part, where we are being positive that we get interview. And if you get interview, be very conversational about it, and not be, I would say, like a robot. Start
Ah,
with, I come with this experience. So in fact, I do this in all my conversation, and I also suggested one of my roommate, and it did work for her as well, that first off you start with your professional introduction, and also tell what you are as a person, like what is your purpose statement. You can mention that. That's another unique thing that one can do in their introduction, about mentioning that their purpose statement. And you can also talk about a little bit, not too much, about your interest. Like for example, I mentioned that I like creativity. I paint, I color, I write poems. So that's how, when you talk about something that you love, like hobbies, you
hobbies are,
also get a bit relaxed, and the person in front of you also feels okay, okay, this
yeah.
person is active, is artistic. And then the conversation starts. Of course you're going to talk about your work experience and all other things later on.
Common.
Those
Common.
questions are going to be there. But if you'd start like a puppet, I come from this years of experience, I have work experience working with Jira, Power BI, this, that. Okay. Then the person, recruiter will also ask the same questions on the,
Boring.
the introduction that you give. So make it interesting, because
Yeah.
first impression is very important. Once
True.
you give, make the, conversation
Hmm.
comfortable and, very lively, it becomes
Hmm.
easy to flow, take it further. So that's my approach. And why I'm telling you about this part,
Hmm.
rather than, being what you should say in an interview, because as a project manager, even PMI says that 80% of job that a project manager does is
Communication.
communication. And one a greatest skill that anyone can have is storytelling,
Story.
right? So you need to keep your audience captivated with your words, whatever you are saying. So in interview also it works wonders.
Hmm.
What you're doing, nothing but telling a story about yourself, the
Story.
projects that you have done, right? So
Hmm.
there is a way about how you present yourself, how you mention the
Hmm.
projects. There is a star method. There are new ways of facility answering the questions.
Hmm.
So you should know all this, but come up with your own, answers.
Answers.
And the more you introduce, and I also, another tip that I would say,
Hmm.
keep, whoever you meet, introduce yourself. Do not be afraid. Speak
Hmm.
out, speak up, and tell the whole universe what you want. Then the
Yes.
universe will give you, so that's something that I believe. If, like, for example, if you're meeting me the next day, and you're like, hey Kashu, my name is Dev and I come from this, like, this is my interest.
Hmm.
And then you tell me that I'm looking forward to for a co-op. And so
Hmm.
you can not directly be like, I'm looking for co-op, can you refer me? So
Yes.
it's
Yes.
very important that you build a bond.
Bond.
I usually say that bonds over connection, because connection sounds very formal, and
Formal.
it's just feels on point and transactional to me. So for me, I'm saying, for me, I focus on creating bonds. Like
Bonds.
if I'm talking with a manager, I try to know their
Hmm.
personality, I try to know their leadership style,
Hmm.
right? So that's my another tip, that you should always build bond first, and then
Hmm.
take the conversation forward.
True. True. True.
Yeah.
The really valuable things which you have told. Really loved it, and I know that other people who are listening, those people will also love the way you have expressed yourself here. So thanks
Yeah,
for sharing all
definitely.
those details. Like, it's really nice that you shared all those details with us.
Mhm.
I appreciate it.
Happy
On
to help. I would also like to say that you or whoever
Hmm.
is watching this video, they can always reach out to me on LinkedIn or Instagram, or on my email. I'm ready to help you guys or mentor you with my knowledge and experience. So feel
Okay.
free to, DM me.
Yeah, I will add your LinkedIn as well here in the video so that they can
Yes.
contact you if needed.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Really awesome connecting with you.
Yep.
Thank you so much for giving time.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you so much.